and welcome to this video. In this video, I will explain you the difference between these three basic standard flows in WhatsApp Bot Builder. The welcome flow is the first flow which you set up every time someone sends you a message and that person is not in your audience. Let's say you just have connected your WhatsApp to WhatsApp Bot Builder. You don't have anyone in your audience yet. What will happen if you have a welcome flow set up? As soon as someone sends you a message and they are not in the audience, this flow will be sent. So you have to choose the flow which will be the part of this welcome message flow. I have already created one default message flow. So this flow contains message like, hey, my name is bot, or hello, welcome to store XYZ. How can I help you? Something like that. So the welcome menu is always activated and sent when someone send you a message and they are not in your audience yet. It is important to note that if you don't have any flows configured, this flow will not be sent. So here in this case, I already have created some flows and I have linked that flow with my welcome message flow. So it is important that you should have some flows created. Also, another important thing to note here is that if the person who is sending you the message and they are not in the audience yet, but if the message they have sent contain any of the keywords you created in the automation, the welcome flow will not be sent. So for example, if I go to my automation, you can see I have set automation for the flow price and the automation keyword is high in price. So let's say if a contact is not in your audience yet, but they begin their message with something high and price, then welcome flow will not be sent. Instead, priority will be given to the automation. So that was the one point which I wanted to call out. Let's go back to our default flows. But let's say if you haven't created any keyword for the price, then the welcome flow will be triggered. Now they send you a message and you have 1,000 of keyword, but the message does not contain any keyword and the person is not in your audience, then the welcome flow will be triggered. Let's move to the second default message flow. So this default message flow is what we like to call the zero vacuum flow. It's to ensure that person is not left in vacuum. What does this mean? So say if the person sends you a message and this message does not contain any keyword, no keyword flow will be triggered, but they have just sent you a message. If they are already in your audience, the welcome flow will be triggered because they are already in your audience and you have already welcomed them. So which flow will be triggered? It's the default response or message flow. If you have the default message flow, every time someone sends you a message and that person is already in your audience and message does not contain any keyword, this flow will be triggered. So we have already created our default message flow, which will run when default message flow is called. So in this, you can write something like, hi, client name, how are you? Welcome back. How I can help you today? And show the menu that makes sense. Got it? Now, the last flow is default message flow for media. This flow is configured for, let's say, when someone sends you a media out of blue, whether it's an audio, an image, or anything else, regardless of whether the person is in your audience or not. If they send you media and you are not collecting that media and they haven't been prompted by a bot to send media and they just send it, so in that scenario you can use this default message flow. I have already created here default media flow, which I will choose. So that's the difference between these three flows. The message flow is for the person who is not in your audience and send you a message without a keyword. The default message flow is for when they send you a message that does not contain a keyword, but they are already in your audience. So this flow prevent them from being left in the vacuum. Then we have default media flow. It is triggered when the person sends you a media unexpectedly, whether it's audio, an image, or video. This bot flow triggered in such cases. So how do you configure these bots? It's just simple. You need to click on, just like I showed you, you need to click on choose flow, and then you can choose the already prepared flows for all these categories and you will be done. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you understood the difference between welcome flow, default message flow, and default message flow for media. If you have any questions, please reach out to our team and we would be more than happy to help you. Thank you.